Our third team being inducted today is the 2010 Mules football team. If you're a Mules football fan and you like a lot of offense, the Mules 2010 team was a joy to watch and a nightmare for opposing teams to try to stop. The Mules averaged 40 points per game, scored over 50 points 5 times, and became the first team in Division II history to have a 5,000-yard passer in Eric Cerneski, a 1,000-yard receiver in Jamaris Warren, and a 1,000-yard rusher in Anthony Stewart, all in the same season. They averaged just over 30 minutes per game in possession time, meaning that offense was on the field for half the game every weekend. It wasn't all about the offense, though. The defense produced 30 sacks, with 7 players each recording at least 3, and also produced 91 tackles for loss. Deontay Bell led the team in tackles with 78. If you sort through the Mules football record book, you will find a host of single-season marks belonging to this 2010 team, and most of them will be there for many years to come, if not forever. Memorable games for the 2010 season, there were many, but perhaps the most exciting was the October 23rd homecoming game against Nebraska-Omaha. For the only time all season, the Mules were shut out in the first half, trailing 14-0. They still trailed 24-7 after 3 quarters, and 31-7 with 11 minutes left in the game. Then came what is called the greatest comeback in Mules football history, as the Mules' big 3 stepped up big time. Eric threw 3 touchdown passes, 1 to Anthony, who also had a rushing touchdown, and 2 to Jamaris, including the game winner with 4 seconds left for a 34-31 Mules victory. Hall of Fame indeed. Now let's watch this video tribute to the 2010 Mules football team.
2010 ushered in a new era for Mules football. In his first year as head coach, Jim Sobota led the team to one of the best seasons in program history. Mules football ended the season with an overall record of 11-3, turning in an 8-1 mark in the rugged MIAA conference. They made it to the National Quarterfinals and won their first 2 NCAA playoff games, including the first ever home playoff game in school history. Sobota recalls his first meeting with the team, which left him encouraged about the upcoming season.
I had a team meeting during the interview. It was well attended, which was a good sign. They were coming off a good season. They were 8-3 the year before. I could see that there was a good group of seniors that year that were really interested in taking the program to the next level. So I kind of felt some energy there when I met with them, and I kind of fed off of that, and then just kind of gave them a plan in terms of, how we were going to do things. And I was excited for the opportunity to coach them, and, here was the plan.
Part of that plan involved first-team All-American, the National, Regional, and MIAA Offensive Player of the Year, Eric Cerneski, a player who would go on to win the 2010 Harlan Hill Award. Cerneski says the team had unfinished business going into the 2010 season. Coach Svoboda and his staff would not only install a new offense, they would launch a new era of UCM Mules football.
We felt definitely the 2 or 3 years leading up to that point that there was some stuff we left on the table, some unfinished business, and we had a lot of guys in our senior class that had been there for 4 or 5 years, and we felt like there was a great chance in 2010 we were going to have a great year. The coaching staff, the way we game plan for each and every team every week, we never overlooked anybody, and the new offense, new defense. There's just a lot of things happening that year, and it was just a great year. It was exciting.
The 2010 team was comprised of 3 future UCM Athletic Hall of Famers. They featured an outstanding receiving core and offense, a stellar defense, and excellent special teams play, all of which helped pave the way into the playoffs.
Clearly, Anthony Stewart stuck out in terms of just his raw speed and talent. And then once we started getting into the X's and O's part of it, the football part of it, we knew we had somebody special with Eric Cerneski, our quarterback. And then, of course, Marco Cosby was a returning player or tight end, a special guy with tremendous ball skills and size. And we had a group of receivers that were, I don't know that any one of them really surpassed the other. We had some good players at our receiver spot, but Jamaris Warren ended up being the guy that caught over 100 passes for us that year. So we had tremendous skill set and very difficult to defend just in terms of the different ways that we could attack a defense.
The defense definitely helped carry the offense along. kept us in ball games until we figured out exactly what we were doing. And, just overall, as everything's a team, football, everything about it's a team game. You have to have both sides, and that's what we did all year long. It was just a fun group of guys all around to play with.
Mules football won their first 2 games in the NCAA playoffs, garnering UCM some well-deserved attention on the national stage.
The fact that we had the first ever home playoff game against West Texas, who had a tremendous looking team, and we jumped out in front of them. I think it was like 35-7. We were just all over them, but we ended up pulling away. I think it was 55-35 or something like that. And then the next week we had to travel. We were playing the number 2 team in the nation, Abilene Christian, at their place. Again, another team that was just laden with talent. Great quarterback. Several players on that team ended up in the NFL, and they were pretty confident. And so we just went in. We had a good plan. Again, we had those tremendous offensive weapons, and we ended up beating the number 2 team at their place. Eric probably solidified his Harlan Hill award by throwing 6 touchdown passes in that game. So that was a great game and great feeling.
The 2010 team set the standard for what UCM Mules football is today and accomplished many firsts in program history. Their induction into the UCM Athletic Hall of Fame is a well-deserved honor.
It was a team that broke barriers, a team that was filled with individuals that loved to play the game. It was filled with individuals that are in the Hall of Fame. And it's a team that set new precedents in terms of winning football at Central, and I think is very deserving of this honor.
It's quite the honor. Anytime I can, I talk about UCM because I love the school, love the football team, love the program. It's just, incredible that, I was on that team, can say I was a part of it. And, I'm just glad for the whole group of guys, the whole team that, they can say they were part of the 2010 Mules.